Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Welcome into the show, everybody. It's been a long morning. Apparently, there was some kind of a malfunction at the main reactor site, whatever you want to call it, I guess, for the internet. It's been down for a couple of hours now. What's up, everybody? Sooner Brandon, Coach Ricks, Stephen G, Rob Hill, Derek Acox. What's up, everybody? What's up? Glad everybody's in here. Just Ed. Who else we got in here, man? You guys have been in here for a minute. Kimberly K. What's up, guys? I can already read some of these things. This is funny. Benji. Mars Jams. Who else we got? T-Boomer. All right, man. Dundies. Hankster. Hope you guys are all still here. Probably not, but we'll see. Since I've been unable to jump on here. And then as soon as ever I got everything back up, then all my connections weren't working very good. My connections weren't good either. Oh, cool. Comanche Sooner. Drew. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. All right. Want to talk about a few things this morning. Obviously, we'll get into our last few. Let's see, I'm on the wrong overlay here too. We're going to get into our last predictions of the weekend for some of the bigger games, including the biggest one of the weekend. Obviously, Tennessee, number 7 Tennessee, invading the Palace, apparently to come kick the crap out of Oklahoma. But we'll talk a little bit about that one. What's up there, Bishop Frank? I was hacked. Could have been. It's possible. It's possible. Also, you've got Utah coming in to Stillwater, to take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. It's another big game for the weekend. I think that's probably the second best one. I mean, really, I guess the state of Oklahoma is really kind of the center of the college football universe this weekend. It's going to be a lot of really good games. We'll talk a little bit about, hey, I want to give a shout out to Mike the Legend, Big Mike Boganowski, and Papa Stutzman for their show yesterday afternoon. Really good show that they put on together. They talked about a lot of pretty cool stuff, and just kind of why they thought Oklahoma's going to have a really good chance coming up tomorrow in that game. Which you guys know what I say. It's going to be. It was a heck of a game, and I really do think that Oklahoma's going to win the thing. But we'll get to talking about that in just a bit. Will the Vol fans show back up on Monday? That's a great question. Hey, I was missed last night. Was I missed last night? Where was I missed last night? How was I missed last night there, Stephen G? You know they won't. Oh, no, they won't be back. Did you? Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, though, I don't want to be the Mr. Conspiracy Theorist guy because I know that's a weird thing, but it seems like it's been going on everywhere. And even Mike had one at his place yesterday, too, during that show, which, by the way, again, really cool deal. Oh, we got another one. Chip Vandelli, you're back in the house today? Okay. What you going to tell us today? All right, well, that's cool. I appreciate it. I'll be glad if you're back. We'll see how it goes as far as the game. I know that there'll be quite a few folks that won't be back unless the Vols were able to win, which I think it's going to be. Yeah, unless the Vols do this, because that's all I've been hearing. Now up over between YouTube and then the short that we put out on TikTok, same one, but that one short alone has gotten over. Well, it's almost 80,000 total views between TikTok and YouTube So it's wild, man. It's wild. And on TikTok, yeah, there Vols by Fitty and a bunch of that kind of stuff. Now there are, and I would say that, just to be fair to Chip here, there's been a bunch of them that have been like, man, they've got that PTSD, Vol PTSD, or what do you call it? What do you guys call it, Chip? Pretty funny stuff, but it's something about something Vol something syndrome. Anyway, it's where they're going through the toughness, and that's where I think a lot of it is just bluster, because they have lost a lot of those kind of games, in the last few years coming into this one. So we'll kind of see whether or not it turns out that way or not. But yeah, again, shout out to Mike and Papa Stutz. That was a really cool show that they did last night. Want to say, Coach Ricks, appreciate you having me on last night to talk a little bit. And then I went back and watched some of that and for your mailbag and stuff. And man, that was really cool. What a lot of the people said in that as well. So lots of love for everybody around, all the people that are watching on my channel, all the people that have found us on Coach Ricks's channel, or maybe Jay and them, or anybody where you found us. Glad to see that you showed up into our little neck of the woods in here on YouTube, and get to hear what we talk about. We just love to talk ball here, and we get to talking a little bit of crap and everything like that. But like I know the other night with Coach and I and Coach and I, that one turned into talking about life and everything else. So it was really cool for me. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. So it's man, I don't know. There's just something about this group of people that when we kind of come together and start talking ball, and it could turn into anything. So really fun stuff, man. All right, let's see. We're looking here. Week 4. Let's take a look at a couple of these games that are coming up. Obviously, you have NC State at Clemson. We're going to find out a little bit more about NC State. They've kind of fallen off the map. They've had some tough ones coming in. Number 3, Ohio State at home to Marshall. Looks like another easy one. Florida at Mississippi State. Now, I told you guys the other day about kind of what we were talking about. Hey, what's up there, Coach? Love you too, man. Love you too. Yeah, no doubt. Sooner Cowboys, welcome into the show. Battered Vol syndrome. That's what I was talking about. The Parker family, battered Vol syndrome. Do you guys, y'all have both of those too? You want to hear my thoughts on injury reports? We'll jump into that as well. Just a little bit. Actually, we've got that injury report in, I believe it's in the Discord, correct, gentlemen? Was that just in the Stephen G? Is that just in the general, or where was that at? I know where it's at too. I've got it here. Yeah, we'll pull that up as well. Okay. So my thoughts on that. We'll start there. Well, let's run through these rest of these games real quick, and then we'll start with that. All right. So Florida, Mississippi. I know I told you guys the other day when we were talking a little bit about, obviously Billy Napier, that kind of stuff, but even Jeff Lebby's starting to take some heat. When you lose to a team like and they lost to, what was it, Toledo, I believe it was. Yeah, you can't have that loss. That's a bad loss. It's not like it doesn't happen to everybody, because we've seen even, Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe his first year, Now, and they were asking him if he had lost the locker room kind of deal. Now, I would tell you that I don't see him getting fired, obviously, with Selman being the athletic director, the guy that hired him. There was a reason why he brought him in to start with. I would think that that's probably not something that's going to be a big issue for him. But, man, pretty wild that you would even get that question early on, but that just kind of tells you how things are in the SEC, how wild it can be. Yeah, pretty crazy. Let's see what else. Oh, Kansas at West Virginia. Another kind of one of those games that one of those two is going to have to get off the mat here pretty soon. I don't know who I would choose out of the two of them, but Arkansas State at Iowa State. Iowa State's jumped up to number 20 in the country. Then you have Kent State at Penn State. The other next biggest game probably being USC number 11 at Michigan, who's still in the top 25. Number 18, I think they probably fall out of the top 25 this week. Lincoln and those guys should knock them out. UCLA at LSU. Notre Dame, coaches Irish, battling Miami of Ohio, not the other Miami. They should run away with that one as well. Obviously, coach is going to want to see that, but I would think that they should have pretty easy time with that one. Then you got Georgia Tech at Louisville. I think this is kind of an underrated game. Should be a lot of fun to see that one. Northern Illinois playing host to Buffalo. Arkansas at Auburn. Now, that was one I had a question about. Arkansas, Auburn. Do we feel like that one could be one of those games that you end up what's up, Rob 077? Good to see you, man. That Arkansas Auburn game kind of feels like one of those deals where either Sam could get fired if he doesn't win, they could fire him this week, or you may be starting to see Hugh Freeze lose grip a little bit. I don't know. It almost feels like he is, because if you don't beat Arkansas, and I know that you're now replacing your quarterback or whatever, and they probably don't want to replace him, but we've seen them move pretty quickly in the past there at Auburn. Obviously, with their last one, I would think that's going to be a tough one. Arkansas needs to go in and win that one. I would think Sam's on his way out. If not, they can, and they already have Bobby in the room. If he's going to make bad decisions like what he did against Oklahoma State and that kind of stuff, they don't need him around there to do that. So I think that they probably have their guy that they want as far as finishing that up. And then the same thing, of course, obviously with Florida and Mississippi State. Now, I do believe that from what I'm understanding, it almost feels like Billy's gone no matter what. There's a couple of concerns. I think one of them being who are they going to have as the interim coach? He doesn't have very good assistants, so they don't know who to do that with. And the other part from what I understand, is that they're trying to wait until after week 4 so that a lot of those guys, if they are going to get into the portal, they're not going to get a redshirt year, because they could bounce at any point and go into the portal once your coach is fired. So I think that was kind of what at least if they're going to jump out of town, they wouldn't be able to keep a redshirt year and just not have to worry anything about it. That's kind of wild, right? I don't think that Freeze has the same pressure as Sam does. No, Benji, I agree. I get that point. But I do think Arkansas wins that one as well. Okay. Rex, biggest fan. What are we talking about here? The AARP Bowl and Stillwater should at least be entertaining. I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you this. I think that if Cam Ward isn't in the game, I guess you could say that maybe you have an opportunity there. But you've got Zach Wilson's little brother is the backup. He's a true freshman, but I think he's better than, Bowman is. And I don't see Utah really letting Ollie Gordon beat them. I just don't see them doing that. They're going to play really good. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, is that what we're doing? Is this Rex biggest fan? Is this another Tennessee folk? Okay, well, we'll jump into some of that here in just a minute. You guys are having fun with them already, so I'll continue on. What was this other one? Who do I think Florida or MSU? Well, I mean, who's got more talent? Florida, right? Florida. But I do think, do they want to win? Do they want him to win? I don't know. I almost feel like it's one of those, you don't want anybody to start thinking that maybe there's a chance that Billy gets to hang around or whatever. Where is that stupid thing? Getting a lot of beeping from my phone, and I can't see my phone right here. Dang it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, UT hadn't played anybody with a pulse either. Let's be loud tomorrow and support our team. Yeah. Hey, listen, is Garrett Boulware in here? And I just wanted to shout out everybody who's really been supporting us a lot lately as far as super chats, and Garrett Boulware trying to make sure that I am able to get to the game tomorrow sent me a $200 blessing, really into the Venmo last night. I would tell you that, guys, that's the easiest and best way. If you're gonna do super chats, we don't lose as much of it to that, so that would be awesome. Our we've got Venmo and Cash App is in the description if you want to do that, and I have it turned on to where I would get that. So if you decide to do a super chat or something like that, which you don't have to, but it'd be great. It's cool if you want to go ahead and do it in Cash App or Venmo as well. Both of those handles are in there, so you can jump in there and do that. That's pretty cool. And they don't get 40% of it like YouTube does. So that's kind of something we're going to start kind of trying to push for that one. We can still read whatever super chat message you have if you do it that way as well. So we'll get more into that a little bit later, but that's really cool. Garrett, man, he had a nice message with it talking about how, they work hard for theirs, but he wanted to see if he could try to help me get there. Definitely trying to, the plane tickets were way over the line. I found one that looks like it's going to be decent, but then I'd have to rent a car anyway. So I'm thinking I'll just get in a car and headed that way this evening. And then that way I'll be there in the morning, because the earliest I get there on with the plane ticket would be, I think, around 3:00 local time. So it would I'd miss all the game day stuff or whatever, which that's all not that big of a deal. But main thing is you'd be there for the game. That'd be cool. But I'd like to kind of be able to kind of hang around a little bit and not have to worry about hauling us to get back. But yeah, they don't have a coach to lead them. You're right, Sooner Brandon. I think so too. That's where I think Levy and them, I think they've got a better situation going on there. But I also believe that, as I said, they don't have any talent. Now it is there in Crazyville, Starkville, where they're going to be beating the crap out of those little bells. So yeah, man, I'm working on it, man. Trying to coming from southeastern New Mexico. So right outside of, it's 2 miles from the Texas border right here where I'm at. So about 7.5, 8 hours. So it's definitely got to be loud. Definitely got to be loud tomorrow night. It's going to be rowdy, man. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be, you realize that this is like the biggest game. I think this is the biggest game at Memorial Stadium since probably 2000. I would think. The Nebraska game when they were number one, it's got to be it, right? I think that's got to be this has got to be the biggest game since the first game in the SEC. They're in the top 10, and everybody's got them, as favorites. I will tell people that, all this talk about being favored and the point spread and all that kind of stuff. You got to realize that a lot of that has to do with, it's just action. It's just action in Vegas. The bets are going on the Vols. Everybody's picking the Vols to win. All your quote unquote experts and all that stuff, they're picking the Vols to win. I haven't seen a national pundit yet that hasn't, right? Yeah, that Nebraska game. That was what a game too, man. I mean, and that's the thing. Here's the one thing to remember. There's been what 2 other times that Oklahoma wasn't favored in their own building and lost. Or no, there's only been 2 times that a game coming into the game that they've been not favored to win and they won them both. So the jump around game, that was awesome, man. I guess that was the last big one. You're right. Oh wait. I don't know though. I don't think that this was. Was that as big as Nebraska? No, because they were number 1. But I agree with you because they were what number 2 or 3. They were definitely planning to go to a national championship game if they had won that game. But yeah. Yeah. Wait, okay, so what are we talking about? Well, that's true. Okay, so who has UT played that has a pulse? Nobody really yet. And they're not going to really until the Red River game. They've got Louisiana Monroe this week. And I mean, people are going to pay attention to this game because Arch Manning's going to be playing. And then next week they've got Mississippi State in their SEC opener. Then you've got the week off before the Red River. So we'll probably get a couple of weeks of Arch, and then we'll see kind of what happened. Public is 79% on Tennessee, but the line moved down to 6.5. Plus, someone knows something. That means that the public, yeah, if the line's moving and it's because of sharp betting, that tells you something, right? Calvin, this is a good call. It's always about the action, though. What you have to understand is that Vegas is not, none of the sports books are going to go on the hook for any of these bets. They don't want to be paying out anybody. The bets need to pay for themselves. So you make a line that gets in, theoretically at least, an equal amount of bets on either side, right? Because you don't want to be on the hook for one side or the other. Y'all haven't played anybody either, though. I'm not wrong. I didn't lie. But everything that the bets are always, it's always goes by that. That's what they may start a line, and they had a starting line. Remember, the starting line originally was 3.5, right? But it's always going to be that way. Hey, there's Shoddy. What's up, man? I can't wait. Let's go. All my eyes and ears are on this OU versus UT game. Hey, brother, it's going to be something else, man. It's going to be something else. I'm excited about it too. You got time to pop in? You're welcome to, man. Pop in with me for a few minutes. I'll send you a link. I got to talk to you this week. Have my receipt written down on old Shoddy. Ooh, did he pick against him? Shoddy, you didn't. Hey, sharpshooter, you can jump in too if you want to, man. Shoddy. Shoddy picked the Vols. Oh, now you better get in here. We got to talk about this. Benji. He sent a cash out for $10. Thank you for the cash out there, Benji. Let's see what he's got there. Jump in it. For the hook on the brand, $10 to hear. Oh, I gotta get the lid off that thing.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Wait a minute. You took -7. Yeah, so not only do you think they're going to win, you think they're going to win by more than 7.5 points. Oh, you must come in. Yep. He's been picking them this week. He has. Appreciate you coming in, brother. Appreciate you coming in. I need to see you soon, man. It's been a while. We know the D will be bringing everything now. That's right. That's right. Big Rob. Tennessee D line is 3 deep across the board. OU's line is decimated. Wrong. That's wrong. Let's get into that a little bit, though. Make sure that. Oops. Hey, don't say it from out there. Get on the show. I just sent you the link. You know what you can do. Come on. Oh, no, that's not the one we want. Oops. They look right now. Sheesh. All right. Come on in, Shouty. Come on in. I'll enlighten you. So, first of all, the first part of your little diatribe here, 3 deep. So, what do you think Oklahoma's is? It's 3 deep across there as well. Okay. Not only that, they have the best linebacker crew in the country, one of the best secondaries in the country. They're lit right there on that side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, you're going to have guys coming back this week. You guys are going to have a hard time. Lance Hurd having a bum high ankle sprain. Good luck with that. Trying to keep our freaking defensive ends off of your ass with that guy. That's trouble for you. The next part, guys coming back probably. Cade McIntyre is going to be good, but you've got Hickman questionable and Jake Taylor questionable. From what I understand, you might be getting them back for sure. Troy Everett coming back is a probable. That one, I don't even think anybody was really expecting that this early. These are offensive linemen that they needed to get back. Yeah, Hurd's fine. A high ankle sprain is fine. Okay, good. If that is just, you better hope that all that is just gamesmanship. But that's not the truth, and you know it isn't. You've heard it from every reputable source there in and around Knoxville. We know the truth about that. What's up there, Coach Ricks? He's in deep shit. And that puts your boy in a blender. And we might as well just go ahead and start talking about this. One of the things, that's the thing. The other part of it is this. Everybody thinks that Oklahoma's offense is so bad, blah, 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 blah. Nick Anderson, yes, thank you, our Moosehead, my man, coming back in. Gentry's been out. He hasn't – you can't even expect him to be in the game. But Nick Anderson coming back, Andrew Anthony coming back, these are 2 huge additions. And I'm going to tell you why. The one thing I'll say real quick, though, about that, Gentry Williams hasn't really been playing the last few weeks. That hasn't been an issue. You're loaded in the secondary. Not just on the D line are they loaded at all 3 positions, at 3 spots. It's like that in the secondary as well. Maybe. Here's the one thing I would tell you about BNG. This is a good question, but I'm going to say this. When you've got those guys coming back, now you can test them deep. You're going to be able to test those guys deep because no longer can anybody just bracket Deion Burks. Go ahead and try to do that or double team Deion Burks. Then what are you going to do? You're going to get them immediately open because first off, it doesn't take a whole lot for Nick to be open. He's a big guy, 6'4". He goes and gets those 50-50 balls like nobody else. They've been holding him back, I think, the last few weeks. He could have played. And so, Coach Ricks sent me some Apple Cash. Thanks, Coach Ricks. I appreciate you, man. And along with that super chat, check your phone for the Cash App or for the super chat. Okay. My man, appreciate you, my brother. Okay, let me get back to this. Yeah, he said 100%. That's right, Stephen G. But that's okay. So even just getting one of them back, let's just say even if it was just Nick, some of the other guys are starting to kind of round into form a little bit. The younger guys that hadn't been playing, they're not one of the 5 of the top 6 guys at the receiver position. But I would tell you looky here. Let's get Shawty in here for real quick. What's up there, Shawty? Welcome to the show.
What's happening?
How you doing, my man? Happy Friday.
Hey, man. Stephen G, don't be calling me out like I won't get on here, brother. What's up, Jason? What it do?
Hey, man. Good to see you, my dude. Good to see you. It's a big weekend. It's a big weekend.
Hey, man. So I say this. I think I said it last night, man. I have to appreciate meeting all these OU fans over the past 2 years or so, man, because I'm more excited for this game. Like, I almost feel like Georgia about to play. I have so much anticipation and excitement for this game, bro. Like, I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna treat it like a Georgia game.
Yeah. It's a big game, bro. It's a big game. I was just saying to everybody in here that this is probably, I mean, you could say the 2008 game against Texas Tech, the jump around game, which a lot of people remember that because of how wild it went. DeMarco Murray going off, and they were up. I think they were up 42-7 or something at the half on that one. But I go all the way back to probably 2000 for a game in Norman of this magnitude. Because you're talking about a top 10 Tennessee team that everybody loves with Nico and all that. And I got to tell you, man, this is the kind of game that Oklahoma wins. These are the games that they win whenever it's a big game and at the house. And it just anytime they get into these kind of games, they seem to find a way to get it done. But the reason there's a lot of really good positive things coming into this for OU. You've got linemen that you've really needed to see come back. If they get Branson Hickman back, that's great. But Troy Everett was originally expected to kind of be your starting center. So he looks like he's probable as well. That means that they get to move some of these guys that weren't supposed to be there, but have been trying to work their way in or had to because of, injuries and stuff like that. Now this offensive line is which was already starting to look better. Now you also get back a guy like Nick Anderson, who, I think that as important as Deion Burks is to this thing, and we want to see him kind of have big days, a guy like Nick Anderson is that guy. He's that 50-50 ball dude, the guy that runs great routes. He's a stud athlete. His brother Rodney was a stud. You probably remember him from the Rose Bowl game, running back. Rodney was a bad dude, and so this is the kind of game that they're going to get in there. And I think that opens up so much. They haven't even been trying the deep ball because you've been kind of bracketing in these guys. I think that you're going to find a way. This is what brings Jackson Arnold around. I think that these are the guys that he's been working with and getting ready with all this time. It automatically gives him more it's going to give him a lot more confidence in what he's doing. And honestly, if you just look at the stats, Nico has a few more yards. Jackson's thrown more touchdown passes. He's only got 2 interceptions on the season as well. Nico has a couple of interceptions, and the one thing I'll tell you is that everything that Oklahoma's defense has done has been out of a base look. They've done nothing exotic, and look, the one thing they've only given up 2.2 yards a carry. Obviously, I would expect that to go up a little bit because yes, Tennessee's a little better than that. But if it's true that Lance Hurd is hurt, and right here he's on this. He's here on this. He's on the. This is so funny that they have a freaking injury.
I'm glad you put that up there because I got a statement and then I got a question for you and OU fans in the comments. My first thing is a statement. I didn't realize until last night how good you guys were at home. Coach, I gave me some numbers and stats on how good you guys were at home. So awesome. Mm-hmm. I think that's cool. But my main question would be this right here. I get to look at this from a different lens because I'm not an OU fan. So my question is this, and I'm glad you got that pulled up. And I'm not saying you guys are going to lose. If you guys lose, what built-in thing that you have in to use as an excuse? Would it be this injury report?
Would it be the injury report? I was bringing it up to talk about Lance Hurd right there. Their left tackle has got a high ankle sprain, according to the injury report. Now, and it's saying he's questionable. A lot of people are saying he's going to try to go. I would tell you that as far as the injury report for Oklahoma, this is to be honest with you, no, I don't think you make an excuse about it. You need to win this football game. You need to win this football game. And let me tell you why. And I believe they are going to win this football game, by the way. In fact, I'm going to tell you they are going to win this football game because you are at home. You have one of the best defenses in the country and certainly in the SEC. And not just talking about from a defensive line perspective, but that's where it starts. We know it all starts right there. But you're certainly going to find out what this defensive line is about. If Hurd is listen, you know how high ankle sprains are, and especially for guys like that are linemen, that's a tough injury to get yourself around. And for a left tackle that's got to move laterally and be able to take care of the speed that you get, not just the bull rush, but the speed and some of the different stuff that you're going to see, these exotic blitzes that are going to be coming your way. Because believe me, they're going to be coming your way, particularly if they're able to do what they're supposed to do and shut down this run. They're at 2.2 yards a carry. Let's say they give up 3.5, 4. Okay, that's one thing, but it's still not, you're not going to have that 300-yard day like you've seen out. That's the other reason I would tell you is what the hell have they played? They haven't played anybody yet either. They're talking about who Oklahoma hasn't played. They haven't either. And Nico Iamaleava has not seen a defense like what he's going to see or a situation like what he's going to see this week.
Let me say this.
Really battle tested. Go ahead.
Let me say this to the point you just made. I agree with you. I don't think either team has played anybody on their schedule that's a world beater, right? But the one thing that I will give Tennessee credit for is they beating up on people like they supposed to beat up on them. And with that being said, they coming into this game just right now with the schedule they have played, I think number 1 and number 2 offensively and defensively in the SEC respectively. Does that have any bearings on how you feel about them being so good on defense?
It doesn't, because they haven't played anybody with a pulse that was going to really put up anything on them. Nobody was going to test them deep in that secondary where we know that they haven't been very good. That's the one place on their defense that they haven't been good. Nobody's tested them there. And I think that as far as I think NC State, I think a lot of us were wrong about NC State coming into the year because Western Carolina gave them all they needed. I mean, they needed 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter to win that game.
They got Clemson this week.
They got Clemson this week. They're going to get probably drugged. You know what I mean? And it's at Clemson. So I don't think NC State is nearly anything what it was particularly. But I would also tell you that, no, man, I think that the guys that are coming back look, if Jake Taylor's back on the other side of that line too as well, Branson Hickman, we're talking about 3 guys that you were expecting to be oh goody.
I see it.
These Knoxville fans are a trip, bro. I got to tell you, man,
Well,
these dudes
to
are
the
trick.
SEC, man, we could have told you that.
Hey, I don't know if on my TikTok video that I put out, the one with me and Boganowski, Big Boganowski, we had one about talking about these people. That thing has hit 80,000 freaking views on TikTok.
I can believe it.
And they are talking more shit than anybody I've ever seen.
Dude, I've seen them. We rolled up there before. I've seen them line up and just moon teams as they come by. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, they wild.
They are a hopeful bunch. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good game, man. I think it's probably definitely the most anticipated game of the weekend for sure.
No doubt about it. I'm doing the best I can to get out of here tonight and head that way. So I can't wait, man. This is a huge game, man. If you're a Sooner fan, whether you're there or watching it on television, this is the biggest game I think since 2000, at the very least since 2008. So we're talking about huge implications here, man. This is your first.
No matter what happens,
go ahead.
I was saying, no matter where it happens, it definitely is a situation where you're playing a top 5 team, and it's going to give you a great idea of where your team is as a program and what you need to do. You know what I'm saying, to move forward. It's a great barometer check for sure.
Absolutely, and again, I think that there's a side of me that really believes that Oklahoma's been, with the offensive side too. I know they've been vanilla on defense. I know they have. We know that. Venables said himself that they haven't dialed up anything as far as blitzes are concerned. But here's the one thing where I was getting at on Nico. And I like Nico, man. I think the guy's really good. I think the dude is really, really good. But I'm going to tell you this, Shawty. When you start looking at, he hasn't faced a defense like this, anything like this, because they, Kent State. I was watching one of the things that we saw there in the Kirk, man. This is one of my high school
vanilla too, based off the level of competition they play, right?
I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. But I also think that he's not seen he hasn't had anybody in the pocket, that's going to be rushing him. They haven't, the secondaries that they've gone up against. Yeah, you've been able to throw from a clean pocket into secondaries that your receivers are running right through like no problem. Like my boy Kirk Robbins from school that's up on the screen here and talking shit. Mm-hmm. That's a shame.
The best he's played against is his own defense so far. And practice every day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. I think that we're going to find out, though. I think Oklahoma obviously comes in a little more battle tested because they've had to go through some stuff already. If they get those guys back, and I think the main ones, as much as I love the fact that these linemen coming back, Nick Anderson coming back and Andrell Anthony coming back is huge for Jackson, because now where Deion Burks, you've only seen them throw probably 3 or 4 deep balls in the first 3 games. They just haven't gone deep much. There's a couple of different reasons for it. I think some of it is they've been being very vanilla on offense too. Although I think that, because I do think that there's some thought going around that they've been playing possum a little bit. They've been playing possum a little bit because they didn't want to show anything, not just to Tennessee, but certainly to Tennessee or the rest of the SEC. I think that you're going to get the full taste of everything they got this week. And with having a guy like Nick Anderson, now if you try to double team Deion Burks, then Nick Anderson's going to kill you. And if you try to double team him, Deion Burks is going to get you up the seam. I also think this brings in your tight ends are going to find some openings that you haven't really had. He's already been heavily dependent on them the last few weeks. I think that that's helped him a lot. But you've seen Jackson the last week, he was more anticipatory. He did have the one bad throw that was a pick 6. But to be honest with you, they jumped out there and got out to that 21-0 lead because of the way he wasn't afraid to take off and run. He uses athleticism in that respect. And then the other part too, Shawty, you talk about this as a receiver at the college level too. when the ball's there, when you're making your break, they're throwing it before you get into the break because they know where you're going to be. That tells you that he's starting to get confidence and he knows where you're going to be. Yeah, he's anticipating it. They went 7 of their first 8 third downs that they converted. A lot of it was because of that kind of stuff. These are big deals. And when you get weapons like this back, the worry about the running game has been, why is that? Well, they're loading up the box because they're not going deep. You get a couple of deep balls going down the field, they got to back off. They can't just bring the house. And that's when you open up that run game as well.
I think you guys are going to need probably at least 25 points to win this game. Do you see your defense giving up more than 24?
I don't. I think that what they do is they start off, you got to start off stopping the run. That's what Josh does that, man. He's going to come in and try to establish the run, and they are a running football team.
They're going to spread out, try to, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. If they are successful in shutting that run down and, you know, getting them into some third and medium, third and long, Nico's going to be in a blender.
Now, I'm going to tell you who to watch this game. I've been impressed with him, but he's going to definitely get tested this game because he's going to be put in some odd situations. I can't think of his name, number 28, the linebacker you have.
Danny Stutzman.
He's about 6'5". Yeah. I like the way he runs horizontally. I was very, very impressed with watching him the last game. But they're going to probably try to put him in some situations where he's got to cover a lot of field. Watch that matchup, man. I think they're going to try to exploit him.
Well, they can do that, but he's the best linebacker in the country. That's the other thing. It's like I said, the linebacking core has been huge here in this sake. You get Kendall Dobie back at Cheetah, which he was out last week with the concussion. He's going to be coming back this week. He's been huge at Cheetah, but I mean, honestly, Samuel Omosigo came in and really played very well in his place last week. They're loaded in that position too, you know. They got Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie and these guys that I think that you better try to do something with Danny because he's averaging 13 tackles a game.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't let him play his normal. You can't let him play his normal style of football because he's going to dominate you on that side of the ball. They're going to have to try to put him in like space. They're going to make him try to cover people in space.
Okay. Yeah. You can't. Richard says, I can't see OU scoring from 20 from what has been so far. Why would you? I get it. I'm trying to explain to you why they will, but okay. That's the thing is that the expectations, that's what you're hearing from everybody all around the country. Nobody's talking about the fact that maybe they haven't shown a whole lot here just yet. I'll tell you the other thing is that like Tulane, I think Tulane would beat the hell out of NC State. Tulane's a real, they should have beaten K-State. K-State's a top 15 team too. And they gave them all they wanted. They had over almost 500 yards on them. Oklahoma held those guys to under 300 total yards. You know, this is a team with a pulse. I think that Tulane is the real deal. And also when it comes to Houston, Willie Fritz is one of the better coaches in the country. We know that. He's the one that turned Tulane into what it is, and they still have another really good coach now. I'm going to tell you that the fact that they have been battle tested and had to go through some things, plus they're at home, they're going to get the help of the crowd. I just believe I don't see any way that Tennessee wins this game. I'll just say it now. I believe that OU wins, and they may win going away. They're going to turn them over. They're going to put Nico in the blender. They're going to turn them over. I don't see a way that happens. I'm happy to go and tell you that I was wrong if I am, but I'm not wrong. They're going to beat the hell out of Tennessee. They are. They're going to put them in a blender, and they're going to have a rough time. The other thing, here's the one thing you need to know too. The last time that Brent Venables' defense went up against a Josh Heupel offense, they beat the shit out of them. You know, it just is what it is. And that was a Bob Stoops team. So, I mean, to me, Brent Venables' defenses has put a lot of people in a blender in the past. We've seen it. Even veteran quarterbacks have a rough time. But this is a situation where Nico he will not have seen a single thing out of this defense on film that he ends up seeing this weekend. I don't think you can overestimate that at all either.
I think that goes both ways, though. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, Jackson Arnold. I mean, Jackson Arnold doesn't have a ton of experience playing against other teams either. I mean, he's 4-game starter, right? He's never played a Tennessee defense. He's never seen anything
he's playing this Oklahoma defense. He's playing this Oklahoma defense.
I'm just saying they both. It ain't like J.A. has tons more of experience. Like he's seen so much more than this kid that he has to play against. What I'm saying, you can almost say the same thing for J.A. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can be.
I mean, that's just a fresh statement
again too. But look, I'm here to tell you that I'm making the prediction myself because I believe in it. And the other part is I think that you don't. Here's the deal: Oklahoma fans and Oklahoma players, they hear all this stuff that's going around this country, and everybody has been dogging on OU long before the season started, and certainly since it started. Because if you struggle a little bit here, or you're not doing this great there. Jackson Arnold, they're acting like he's some bum, and he is a freshman, but he's looked better week by week. Nobody really talks about that. They've talked about whatever his deficiencies are. He had a really good week last week, and he's getting his number one target back. They're also getting linemen back that are super important. I know, and a lot of Tennessee fans don't seem to realize this part. Bill Bedenbaugh is the best offensive line coach in the country. It's already been improving. No, we're not in for a rude awakening tomorrow, Reezy. You are. You guys are coming into a situation that you can't. And let me ask you a question. For all this talk about LSU in 2022, we went down there and won by 27. Y'all don't talk about going to South Carolina and getting freaking dog walked down there by a sorry-ass South Carolina team. Come on.
Oh, wow. Interesting comment. Y'all think about getting the other guy some snaps, Jason? At quarterback? Okay.
Who's saying that?
Lone Wolf said, I personally don't think J.A. is the only quarterback that would play tomorrow. You know what we say? If you got two, you don't have one.
I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that they're setting this up for him to play. I don't believe that that's it.
Yeah, I think you got to roll with J.A. no matter what. Unless he's
you're doing it,
stinking it up. You got to roll with that.
I think you have to. I think you could put. I could see them putting Hawkins in situationally in certain things. You know, you got something here or there that you want to see, but we're not talking about for long periods of time. I'm saying if you had a package for him that you want him to run in a certain.
J.A. are capable of running everything in y'all offense. There's no need.
I think so too, and I agree with that. I at this point, I think that it either there has to be a reason. There has to be a complete reason for you to do it. Mm-hmm. Most of the footage from Tennessee's points had 6 to 7 seconds to throw the ball. He won't have that much time. He won't have a third of that. You're going to get 2 seconds maybe.
And Baker wasn't the athlete that J.A. is. Like, J.A. can run everything in the playbook.
Right.
RPO, sprint. I mean, he can run it all. You know, Baker, he was good enough, but he was not an athlete like J.A.
Mm-hmm. Baker's a better athlete than people will give him credit for, but J.A.'s bigger. He's got a bigger arm for sure.
It's a better athlete.
One of the things about, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's hard. The one thing I'll say about Baker, he's bigger though, for sure. And he's probably has a little bit better arm, but Baker was, I think he's still underrated in terms of arm strength and what he does. But the big thing about Baker Mayfield has always been his competitiveness. I mean, just the way he is. He plays with that chip on his shoulder, like Boomer 129 is saying. He's always been that way. That's who that dude is.
Spongy spit.
Oh, absolutely. You challenge that cat. Well, and you think about you've had a guy like that in the last few years too, man. You know what I mean? It's to where you got a guy that's been, not.
This is what I'm saying. Baker ain't taking one for like 60 like J.A. did the other week. I don't see Baker doing it.
Oh, as far as running it, no.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by he can run everything in the playbook. You don't have to take him out and put a more athletic guy in just to run something. Nah.
Right. And Miguel's got a point there. Tennessee's offense is not being new. You know, the tempo stuff. We keep hearing about the tempo. That's what they've been running at Oklahoma for a long time, too. You know, tempo is not something that's going to get it might help you if, you know, I know what Jay Crane was
in a bad they can catch you in a bad personnel, it can hurt you.
It could. That's the thing, though, is at this point, Oklahoma's not in situations where they got bad personnel in right now. You know, they don't. You're not losing a lot from one guy to the next, and I don't see them really putting it in a position to where they have to worry about that. Listen, I've never felt as good about an Oklahoma defense as I do right now. I really haven't. I can't remember a time where I felt this good about an OU defense. Maybe, yeah, back in those days when you had Gerald McCoy, Tommy Harris, guys like that. And then, of course, with Roy Williams. But as far as the depth is concerned, just coming at you in waves, I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. And I'll tell you this. You can't overestimate how big it is to be playing this game in Norman.
Who has the coaching edge?
Oh, I believe that it's BV. Oh, it's BV. Okay. Look, he's seen this offense a bunch too. That's the thing, is he's come up against everything and everybody, and he's had big time. Look at what they did against Clemson in the national championship game. Look at what they've done in the playoff. They've, as good as they were offensively at Clemson, and they had great quarterbacks there. A lot of the reason that, they're going up against these pretty damn good Alabama teams and beating them there. I think that he's been able to do that. And again, I like Josh, man. And there's nobody. I don't know about nobody, but I can tell you now, I love me some Josh Heupel. You know, I was there getting my master's at that time. That's when I was in Norman. So Josh is a Sooner legend himself. You know, that's it. And Sooner legends, welcome in. There's still a lot of season left for either team, either way, Sooner legends. You're right on that. But I'm going to tell you this. I think that this is a big start. And you want to start off good. And getting this game at home, I just don't see a way that they lose it. I just don't see a way they lose it, man.
So I'm just checking my boxes. You guys have the coaching edge. You think that you have a better roster? Top 22, first 22?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a better roster and the coaching edge, and you're playing at home. All signs lead towards the OU victory, for sure.
I think so. I think so. I really do. And playing at home, again, I don't think you can overestimate that part. 73% all-time home winning. It's a tough place to play for everybody. And again, you don't get as many of these crazy games as you do, but the last two times that you had a team come in that was being picked by pretty much everybody to beat you, you won both of them. One of them was against number 1 Nebraska in 2000. You know, that was huge. Then you have the jump around game after Texas Tech beat Texas with Michael Crabtree. Remember that year whenever they hit that sideline pass at the end of the game and beat Texas, and then got boat raced when they got to Norman. I was covering that game. I was covering for a newspaper that we covered Tech, so I was there for that one. It was wild. DeMarco Murray got crazy. That's the thing. I would go back to a couple of different things. When you get those deep routes to open up, I think it helps out your offense in a lot of ways. You're gonna start running the ball well too, because of the fact of they can't just go in there and load up the box on you. I think it's the same thing that they want to say about how the way Georgia has done really good against Tennessee in the past is to stop the run with a light box. And I think that you're going to see the same thing out of OU. They've got enough speed. They've got more speed on their defense than they've had in a long time. a long time.
Generally, we just generally able to match them man for man in the box and not have to be able to keep an extra man in the box, because that's what they want you to do, so they can get one-on-one on the outsides with all that speed.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. But and again, another thing though is, man for man, you're going to match them up, and you're going to do the same thing in that secondary. That's one thing you always know Georgia's going to have is a great secondary. You know, they're going to have guys that can cover, and I think that you're probably going to see just as much of that. Look, I love our secondary. Love it. Even without Gentry Williams, the guys that they brought in are they're fantastic, man. And this secondary it's almost positionless. If you look at Peyton Bowen, he's playing safety, and he's probably one of the better safeties in the country. But he's also capable of being like a cover corner. That's the way we've seen him do it, running with guys like Andrell Anthony, who's got super amounts of speed, running step for step, being able to get his head around and get a hand on the ball. We saw him do that in the spring game last year as a true freshman. This guy is a big deal. But getting Nick Anderson back, like you said, I think it changes the offense in so many ways that it's going to allow you to run the football in a way that you haven't before, not to mention the guys that you're getting coming back on the offensive line. That's huge. It's huge, Shawty. But I do believe that it's going to be a fun ass game. I can tell you that much. But I think they're going to turn them over. That's the main thing you want to do, is get them turning the ball over. Oklahoma leads the country in the last couple of years in turning the ball over. You know, that's what Brent Venables defenses do, is force turnovers, score off of turnovers. We've got Billy Bowman he's got a nose for the football. There's a bunch of guys like that. And I think that if they can get into this and force a turnover early, it could get out of hand even because of just the way that this game could play out. And I think that Nick Anderson being back is huge, huge, huge for this Oklahoma offense. Tell me what you think, though.
You know what, Jason? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm just anticipating the game. I like it. I mean, the way that I obviously feel that Tennessee is gonna win. I picked them to cover the 7.5. I think they're gonna probably beat you guys by maybe 11 points. I just honestly think they're gonna have too much offense, and I think that their defense is probably a little bit better, especially up front is a little bit better than you guys are giving them credit for. And I think that's where the problem is gonna start. Yeah, I think the problem is gonna start up front. I really do. I think they're just going to be a little too much strong up front on the defensive side. And I think they're going to be, that's why I asked you about being able to score more than 25 points, because it's going to take 25 or more to beat Tennessee. And if your defense can hold them to 24, I can see something like
that's why Nick Anderson coming back, that allows you to do some other things. I think you're going to see more Taylor Tatum. I know you're going to see more Taylor Tatum. It's just it seems like it's all been going in that direction. But once you're able to keep people from bracketing up Deion Burks, and that just opens everything up. It opens everything up for them, because once you can start, and you haven't even seen them really try the deep ball. I think that's by design, man. I think a lot of that is by design.
And Chicken, you're right, but I have been watching a lot more over the past 2 years. You know, to be honest. Now, I'd be honest with you. If I had to keep it 100, I know more about Oklahoma than I do Tennessee. I haven't had a chance to watch Tennessee as much as I like because the schedule that they have played, but I have definitely had my eye on OU for sure.
Question: with all the money being on Tennessee, why hasn't the line moved? Because the smart money, the sharp bettors is what you would call them. The sharp bettors are not betting Tennessee. They're betting OU.
Especially being at home. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at home. That's the whole deal. They need Hawkins back. I don't think they need anything. I think it is what it is.
Yeah. J.A. good enough, man. He good enough to run everything in y'all package, man. If anything, you put that kid out there.
Listen, I'm a fan of Michael Hawkins. Believe me, if Michael Hawkins had to go in because of an injury or anything else like that, I think it's fine. but I'm not in this camp that thinks that J.A. can get it done. I believe he can. He will.
And then, like you say, you may obviously see some things open up more in the playbook this week too that may go to his strengths. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
I think if nothing else, you will see that playbook open up a lot more this week for sure.
Yeah, the spread went down. They're hoping to get more bets for Tennessee. Yeah. Again, I would tell you that the spread, people that are talking about the spread and that it's just because the spread is always about action. It's always to bring about action because the no sports book wants to be in jeopardy of losing its own cash to either side. So the line moves around. If it's moving around because of sharp betting, it's because they know that they're probably right. The sharps don't get it wrong. People say Vegas don't get it wrong. Vegas gets it wrong. The sharps don't. The sharp bets are the guys that they know something else.
Even if I had to bet the money line, I still would have took Tennessee.
Okay.
Like head up. If it was a head up bet, I still would have took Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm on the money line for Oklahoma because that's where you're gonna make money here. If you're betting OU, is betting the money line. You bet a big line. You know, I think that at home, if you want to bet the money line, that's the right way to go. The spread's probably going to end around 7, but I think that's what's allowed. Listen, there's a lot of OU fans that are a little worried. You know, we're hearing people just like that. You're hearing a lot of people talking about Michael Hawkins. You're just not trusting in J.A. and what he is or whatever. And I think that there's which is wild because there's just this idea that all these other guys were great on day one too.
But this kid hasn't showed you anything to lose the job.
He hasn't. He has not. But no, you hear silly shit. You hear silly shit like he just doesn't have it. What the fuck is that?
3-0. Can't be no better than that right now.
And look, I mean, has he been great in all of it? No. He got a little bit of happy feet in that Houston game when he probably shouldn't have. But to me, last week should have shown you a lot. Whenever I was talking about it, if you trust in your receivers to be open and you're throwing them open, which means that you're getting the ball out of your hands and putting it in the place that's going to be open before they're even in their break, that tells you that this quarterback is starting to get confidence. And that was without Nick Anderson. The couple of balls that they've thrown downfield, aside from the Jalil Farouk the first week, they've had, I think, 3 other down the field throws past 20, 25 yards, and 2 of them have been dropped. And one of them been dropped by Deion Burks.
Well,
but I'm telling you, when you get a guy like, and they weren't as open as some of the other ones, but now you get a guy like Andrell Anthony, who's another deep speed guy. If you double team Deion Burks and Andrell can go straight down the field, you've got a guy like Brennan Thompson, who's a 10-1-100 guy that you can get him deep. Because of Nick Anderson being in the game, you cannot double team anybody. You're going to have to stay man for man. And we know that's the one weakness for sure that Tennessee has on their defense is in the secondary. It hasn't been good. They hadn't been tested this year, but we know in the past it hasn't been good. They had to go 5 dudes. And I got to tell you something, man. One of their guys is a white boy. How are you going to run with that speed, white guy? I'm sorry, but it's real. It just is what it is.
Hey, I know this definitely going to be a game where, you know, depending on how it goes, that chatter can either get much louder or he has a chance to shut it all down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
look,
it sucks for him to have that extra pressure going on him going into a big game like that. Like, that's extra pressure you don't need as a young quarterback. OU fan, help yourself out, man. Don't start no controversy when there aren't none.
they're saying it right here. But here's the thing. Oklahoma fans are used to seeing 40, 50. It's the race to 50 because their defense, they're not used to depending on and relying on their defense. Shawty, you like to see explosive plays and for your offense to go out there and do a thing. And I know that right now I would ask you, how are you feeling after that Kentucky game? I know we hadn't really gotten a chance to talk too much of it, but it's kind of, you guys always know, yeah, you didn't play well offensively this past weekend. But I would guess that you knowing what you know about your defense, you can handle that kind of game.
Right.
You can handle it if your offense isn't up to speed. That's something that Oklahoma fans are not used to being able to say. And so it's hard for them if there is any kind of struggle whatsoever. Like Sooner Cowboy says it right here, 35 points or more we're used to seeing. Yeah, but sometimes that isn't conducive for you helping out your defense a little bit and winning the game. And that's a hard thing for Oklahoma fans to understand, is to be led by defense. Playing complementary football. We've talked about that a bunch the last couple of years, right? We were talking about USC, same kind of stuff, right? You got to be
complimentary. That travels. You know, I think I said the other night on the show, I think it might have been last night. That's one thing about that Kentucky game is what I say is, you know, we got the one thing that travels. And the one thing that travels is actually two things. But the one thing that we took with us was our defense. We can take our defense anywhere, outside, inside, hot, cold, rain, sleet, whatever. Our defense travels. So that's why I never had an issue at any point in the Kentucky game, because I knew our defense would win that game for us. But just to put some things in perspective, it's very easy to
you like to see, though, probably, I'm sure.
Right,
you know, when you're, I mean, it's even for you, and knowing what your defense is, it's still not something you want to see out of your offense. You want to see your offense thriving. I don't think that they have been in a position where the offense could be a whole lot better. Week one, they had short fields all day. He still threw 4 touchdown passes, but they had short fields all day because of the defense. Week two, I mean, it was not a great look, but this last weekend, aside from the pick 6, I thought he was really good.
Well, that's why I was trying to put things more in perspective. Is what I was about to say, is that, you know, it's very easy to be prisoners of the moment, right? We're a national championship contending team. We ranked number 1. Kentucky played very bad against South Carolina the previous week. We favored by 24, so we prisoners of the moment. But if you go back, I'm gonna throw this out to you. The last 3 years we done played in Lexington, guess what the score was? 13-12 this year, 16-6 the other year, and 14-3.
Yeah.
So we have not played good in Lexington for the past 3 years. We never scored over 16 points last 3. So that's what I mean by being a prisoner of the moment. If you know the history, you know it. They just play us tough in Lexington.
Right. And
in between those years, we won 2 national championships and still only scored 16 points on a Kentucky team.
Right. Sometimes it's just kind of how it goes, right? I mean, K-State has been that thorn in the side of Oklahoma for a while, and they just started getting really good, you know, since the Ron Prince years, and then whenever you had Coach Snyder come back, they were decent at that point too, but there was a point that they really just weren't that good, but they were still a pain in the ass for OU. It's just sometimes you just have that game that it's a tough matchup for you. For whatever reason, they seem to find they match up with you very well. Styles, we say it all the time, styles make fights. Sometimes it's just a certain program
that you guys made, because this is a new conference. This could be one of those teams. Like for us, it's Kentucky, South Carolina, and Mizzou. No matter how good and no matter how bad they are, it's just a tough game. But we always play those teams close for some reason. And Tennessee may be one of those games for you guys coming into the conference. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't. Pat McAfee says, I think it's really hard to talk to anyone from the Oklahoma football world. Can we just have a conversation with fucking Danny Stussman? The kid is awesome. He's fantastic, dude. Give him the damn All-American. Give him Butkus Award right now. The dude's, I mean, he keeps playing like this, there's no way he's not a first-team All-American. He's not a Buckus Award winner. Kind of felt like he got screwed out of it last year, but well, he got hurt too, so that had a big thing to do with it as well. But listen, this defense is going to lead the way here. And I don't know who this healing is free person, but I don't know who's trying to single-handedly jinx them. We don't believe in all that shit around this place. Well, it's going to be a good game plan for you guys to beat Bama next week. That's a good question, T Boomer.
Oh, yeah, good question.
Big game coming up, man. You guys getting ready for? Can't wait.
I'm so happy we off this week, Jason. I'll be honest with you. I'm happy to be off. I think it's going to be probably something similar to in the past. Unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of luck against Bama. I think they beat us 3 out of the last 4 times. We just beat them in the one that mainly counted. But a guy like Milrose, man, I tell people all the time, that's a kid that you can't necessarily rush. You have to be very disciplined in your pass rush and stand in your pass lane. You almost want to keep this kid horizontal, because if any time you open up a lane, he gone. So I think if we can do what we kind of did the last time, contain him and not let him hurt us in the run game, because he didn't hurt us statistically, but when he did run, he did hurt us. So I think we have the right game plan. Once again, is just not to rush the kid, make him beat us with his arm, and at the same time, we have to be firing on all cylinders offensively as well. We have to be able to run the ball and throw the ball, which is going to be tough against a Bama defense.
Yeah, no doubt. I think so too. And I think the one other thing, I mean, they're throwing the ball really well, but I know that when you comes to that Georgia secondary, as we said, I think that's where you're going to have a big. Hey, look, I know that's the one team in the conference that you have had a hard time with. Kirby was 1-6 against Saban. I think is it a big thing for you in your mind? Is this something that you need to get on top of this with Kalen DeBoer before it gets any worse? I mean, or
yes.
does it hurt?
For sure. Because I mean, a lot of the things, believe it or not, a lot of people just believe it's more of the stigma of Saban, right? Trying to beat your mentor type thing. So now with that pressure being gone, granted, they still have the same colors and logo. It's still a big difference without Saban being there. And I think that's probably, a lot of people tell you football is probably 75% mental, 25% physical. You know what I'm saying? So this could be a case where that stands true, that you don't longer have the mystique of Saban being there on the sideline. And we might be
right. I mean, that's the thing, is you can't have it to where you have a bad you don't want them to start thinking it's just Bama, right? That's the thing, is you want to be able to go in there and win that game, because you don't want to believe that it's just Bama that's better, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I get that. It's a good.
And until we do it, unfortunately, I have to take my hat off to Bama. I mean, because we can say what we want to say and feel what we want to feel, but ultimately, like I said, I know for sure they've beaten us 3 out of the last 4 times. So we got to get better in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. There is a possibility that 6 teams in the SEC can finish 11-1.
Probably more than likely.
He's got an analytics model, but I don't. That's tough.
You don't need a lot.
Everybody beats each other, and I don't see that happen. Yeah, you can't allow Alabama to believe that nothing has changed. Hankster says, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
I think that it's important for Oklahoma to find a way to beat them at home this year coming up too. I think
y'all have them at home though.
You have them at home, but it's at the end of the year too. I mean, we're going to find out a lot about both teams between now and then. It's the week before the last game of the year when they play. Good news for Oklahoma is it's right before the Iron Bowl. Of course, they get the Iron Bowl at home, and it looks like Auburn is just trash. Mm-hmm. I mean,
they have a quarterback this week.
Yeah. Changing quarterbacks, doing all that stuff. I mean, I get that it's mathematically possible, Richard Shear. I struggle to see it though. I struggle to see it.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I would say that, I agree with what Hank's saying here. That's a tough deal though. And I think Boomer 129 says Tennessee's not won a top 15 SEC road game since 2006. The Vols defeated number 10 Georgia that year, 51-33. In 2006. See, but Yeah, none of that stuff really matters. Uncle Lou podcast says Tennessee's going to hammer Oklahoma. Oklahoma has no business in the SEC. What do I think? I think that Uncle Lou's full of shit. He always has been. I think that he says stuff to troll and it works. And so I don't think he cares whether he's right or wrong.
I don't even understand the statement. He have no business in the SEC.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what? It's not. He's not the only one saying stupid shit like that. Just to be real. Because there's a lot of people from Tennessee right now saying that welcome to big boy football. Y'all don't know what it's like. And like, come on, man. The SEC's been better for the last 15, 16, 17 years. It hadn't always been better. And Oklahoma is a true blue blood. That's the one thing people don't understand is that, you say things about the program itself. There's never going to be a time that Oklahoma is going to be okay with losing a game, period, to anyone. The standard is the standard, and the standard is we're going to kick your ass. That's what it is. And there's something about that, look, if it's not Venables that does that shit, then they'll find somebody that does. If you guys think that Oklahoma's coming here just to be your little middle of the road bullshit team that you get to step all over in your SEC, no, they're coming to own the shit. Not saying that you're going to own it. I'm saying that's what they're coming for. They didn't come here to be mid. That'll never be the mentality in Norman. Never. Yeah, and who else has a trophy room like Oklahoma? Just Bama. In this league especially, just Bama. That's it. And, again, spare me the bullshit about the SEC.
Well, listen, y'all here now. I'm saying it's over with. All the talking over with.
Now it is the SEC. Right. Now it is the SEC. And I guarantee you, here we go with this stuff. I bet you don't come back on Saturday night or Sunday, bro. Power T talking about Vols. Out of here with that shit. This is why I know though. I guarantee you that this is all over the Switzer Center. It's all over Norman. You guys are not walking in there and doing that to Oklahoma. You're not. If you win the game, I'll be surprised. You're not winning by a bunch. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
So I guess that's what the main issue is going to be about, how you win or how you lose, right?
You need to be in this game. You need to win this game if you're OU. I don't think that losing is going to be okay with anybody at OU. But I would tell you that, yeah, you're not damn sure not getting blown out. I think there's respect there from one side from this side. We didn't say the SEC isn't shit. Power T, shut up if you're going to get this right. Or don't talk in here, bro. Don't talk in here. I didn't say the SEC isn't shit. I said that there's nobody in the SEC who's been as good as Oklahoma except for Alabama. And that's a fact. That's not an opinion. It's a fucking fact. That's how it is. And when it comes to Tennessee, y'all ain't shit. Sorry, you're not. Y'all haven't done shit in forever. You haven't even won a conference championship since T. Martin. You can't spell citrus without UT. How many times have we heard shit like that?
They won a national with T. Martin, didn't they? They won a national with
Not since then, though. Since him, they ain't done a damn thing. They lost 15 in a row to Alabama. Don't talk to me about Tennessee. And we got respect for Josh. We got respect for the team that he's put together. We love Josh Heupel in Norman. Believe that. But we will show him no quarter this weekend. Believe that too. Y'all are in deep shit. All this shit talking coming in like the.
Well, I'm ready, man. That's like it ain't nothing to talk about. I'm so ready. I can't wait. Who got the countdown clock? Somebody had a countdown. Was it Kim K? What's the name? I think shit. Somebody had a countdown clock going.
It's coming soon, right? Yeah. Tennessee needs a Sooner to be relevant again. Yeah. If Tennessee were to lose tomorrow, here's the thing, too. They lost to freaking Florida last year. Florida's about to fire their coach. Don't tell me y'all can't lose games. Y'all keep talking about the LSU game 2 years ago. What about Columbia, South Carolina, that you got your ass drug there? Not to mention Georgia.
If the loss more, who would that loss hurt more? Would it hurt more OU or Tennessee because they're the higher ranked team? Or would it hurt OU more?
I think you need to win at home, right? You in the SEC, you need to win your home games and go steal a couple on the road, right? That's the gist of it they talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think well, they 5. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that. Because now both teams still have a shot.
Listen, I think it's going to be a really good game, to be honest with you. Sure. I do think it's going to be a good game. And what I'm saying is, if we're going to sit in here, you got people coming in here talking about Vols by 50. I don't want to hear that shit. Whenever you know damn good and well you're not coming in and winning by fucking 50. That's what I'm saying, Big Orange.
That's not going to happen. Both teams are too good and coached too well to even be giving up those kind of points.
People feel like the Tennessee, they're being left out. Tennessee fans can't win. Whatever, dude. You guys talk more shit. And you know this. If you're a real Tennessee fan, you know y'all talk more shit than anybody. Except for maybe mid-zoo. When it comes to Oklahoma anyway. Yep. That's it. You're not wrong, Coach Ricks. And that's the whole point, is that you know what? Oklahoma fans are tired of hearing how bad they are from everybody that don't know shit about them. Like Tennessee fans saying that dumb shit. If I'm going to Norman, so I don't know. Coach Ricks is gonna jump on, and then we've got the snap count. Well, I'll jump into the snap count for sure. Coach Ricks will probably be live. I'll probably jump into both of those. So you'll see us, and we stream both of those to the channel. So I'm not going nowhere. Believe that. I ain't scared of shit, but I'm gonna guarantee. I want to know how many of you guys come back after all that shit you're talking.
The model that Richard Shear has is that the current rankings he has them at 12 and 15 respectively? Tennessee and OU. He said something about a model. I thought I saw it in the comments.
Shear. Yeah, his. What did you have there, Shear? Neilio, thank you for the super chat. He said getting ready to head out to Salt Lake. Just saying, hey, good luck this weekend, everyone. Later, man. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. Josh Heupel with 5-8 in SEC road games, with 4 of those wins coming at Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Mad respect for Oklahoma and Texas, even if you hate each other because you're coming to win. Yep. Oklahoma's won more conference titles than anybody. That's by at least 10 or 11, I think. No.
Hey, you know what? All this stuff go out to run on Saturday, though. All this shit don't have nothing to do with Saturday.
Yeah. Let's see. No, we love you, Rich. You know, I'm not talking about you. You know that. You and Rob are good. Yeah. There are a lot of interesting storylines, but I tell you what, you're being honest. You're being honest about shit, Big Orange. You're talking shit because that's what y'all do. They showing up to eat. The man is a dog mentality at 53 years old. Kimberly K. He's running the stadium every morning at 7 a.m. They're coming to eat too. They're coming to eat. That's
Kimberly K. Do you have a countdown clock? I thought she would have put up a countdown clock. It was like 29 hours and so many seconds left.
The model ranking is off of who you have played so far. The ranking in the model, yeah.
Okay.
And what did you have it? So
I think he had Tennessee at 12 currently and OU at 15, which is very close.
Yeah, I think that's probably somewhere about right.
Which is probably why the score is so tight too.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
I think that's reflective of. In other words, he's saying Tennessee
you were
ranked
asking
too
the
high.
question, who does it hurt more? Sooner Brandon says they don't come back when they lose. I think that if Oklahoma were to lose it, you could still see them kind of bouncing back from the early on. I mean, I don't know. But I think that it's important for OU as well. I think that you need to win in the SEC. They talk about how hard it is to play on the road in the SEC no matter what. And obviously we got to go through this and see it for ourselves because some of these road games that I'm seeing, I mean, I'm not worried about Auburn next weekend, but apparently we're supposed to be. You know, if you're not New Mexico State or, you know, Cal.
Hey, we won't worry about Kentucky. Look what we went through. And we supposed to be the number one team in the nation.
I understand. And I'm saying I don't think you can take anybody for granted, for sure. But I think you definitely need to win your home games is the thing, right?
Yeah, I'm laughing at Sooner Legend. I ain't trying to take your first lady. I just thought she the one that had the clock up, man.
No,
shout out to Mike.
They've been calling her the first lady of Sooner Nation, and which is a fair statement. We love us some Kimberly K. Where is Miss Shelby today? I haven't seen her around here in the last couple of days. What do you got? I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I'm trying to get to the game. Yeah, I've got to get into work here pretty quick. So we're going to do a quick couple of things.
Yeah, me too, man. I got to hit this road in by 2.
I want to have you need to start voting in our Hall of Fame college football poll. So I'll send it out to you where you can just do it on your phone.
Just putting up some polls or something.
Top 25 polls. So you can just rank your top 25, but it'll be on a forum on your phone, so you can just vote that way. By Sunday. Everybody else can do the same by becoming a member of the program. You can jump in there to hofmedia.us/join, or it's right next to that little like button there and subscriber button. So if you jump in there and you can join for as low as $2.99 a month to become a member, and that'll allow you into our Discord. So that's where everybody else gets their voting privileges is through the Discord. We are giving away some more of our Discord stuff, though, for the moment. We still have it free for now. So if you get in and become a member of the Discord right now, you can still do it for free. But that's only going to last for about another week. So jump in there and get that done. Hell yeah, me too, Miss Kimberly K. We love it. We love it. We love it. Yeah, so I would say that oh, here comes Bishop Frank, says 28-14 OU. Let me throw this up. Let me throw up the
Not like that. That's about where I'm at, somewhere in that range. Maybe a little bit closer, but yeah, somewhere in there.
I think it's a good game, but I think you do have to score some points here. I think that if you don't get out there and put some points on the board, that's when you allow Tennessee to, because they're going to be on the offense a lot. They're going to be on the field a lot if you're not scoring some points and making, getting some drives going, right?
The winner is going to have 25 points. You're going to have to score 25 or more to win this game.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that's probably pretty close to right on the money, somewhere in there. I would think. What the hell did I just have those open? Where are they?
Shout out to BNG. I see.
BNG. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too. All right. Hey, quick couple of give me your prediction. What's the final score for this game?
Tennessee OU?
Yeah.
I like 28-17.
Okay, you're going Tennessee 28-17.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we have also we were looking at these other games. You've also got Utah at Oklahoma State. That's another big game this weekend in the state of Oklahoma. All eyes are on Oklahoma this week. That's a big game.
I took Utah in the 2.5, -2.5.
You took Utah -2.5. Yeah, definitely. I've got Utah on that one as well. I think that they're gonna, whether or not Cam Rising plays, I think that they're gonna they shut down the run. I believe that they'll do that, and that's gonna be the reason why they win that game. Because they're not going to let Ollie beat them, and Bowman can't. Who do you got?
I don't trust Mike Gunn. I think they just got the better coach too.
Yeah, facts. Yep. 31-17. Who you got? in that one, Richard Shear. Model has it 31-17, Shawty.
Ooh.
So you're saying
I like it, but not by that much.
I'm just blocking out you, Power T. I don't give a shit what you got to say. You came in here talking about 50. Nobody gives a fuck what you're talking about, bro. You're lucky you're still in the chat. Okay.
I can't be chicken picking Okie Light.
Chicken's picking Okie Light, huh? Is
By 4.
Not happening. Chicken wrong. 38-17 Vols, 31-24 OU for T Boomer. That's a 7-point game.
Man.
Yep. I'm gonna flip it. I said it the other night. I'm gonna say it again. It's gonna be 31-17 Oklahoma. That's what I got it at. So 31-24. Richard Shear, Tennessee, 31-17. I'm flipping that one on him. Utah by 14. I think they win by at least that much. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Utah does have a quarterback. His brother is an NFL quarterback and was really good at BYU. So 27-17 OU from Drew, 24-16 Michigan over SC. Yeah,
I took USC at the points.
Yeah, USC's gonna probably blow them out. They're not good.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 10.5.
Their coach he's a man. Yeah, I don't know about all that. They lose big. Sooner Legend says 34-31 by me and Big Mike's prediction. Mike Boganowski and Sooner Legend got it 34-31, close game.
Okay. I like it with just too many points.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
I think the over is 62.5 or something like that, maybe 64. I forgot what it was, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Stillwater at noon, 100 degrees on that field. Utah ain't ready for the heat. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. SC 24-14 says Richard Shear. Let's see what other games we want to get into this week. Just Georgia Tech at Louisville. I've got Louisville winning that one.
Mm-hmm. I like Louisville.
Yeah. NC State getting crushed at Clemson, you think?
Yep.
Me too. Tonight's game, big game right here too. 24 Illinois at number 22 Nebraska. Who you got on that one?
Ooh, I stayed away from that game. It's so hard. That's a hard one. I stayed away from it.
Being at Nebraska, I think this might be one of them games that the first dude to throw the ball is a pussy kind of deal. It's going to be a fun.
It's at Nebraska.
Yeah, it's at Nebraska. I think Nebraska wins that one. Be good.
Yeah, I go with Nebraska by 3.
Sooner Brandon's with me, 31-17. USC giving up 4.5 right now. Joyce seeing LSU lose. You think there's any chance I get to laugh at them this weekend playing USC? Antoine, welcome in, man. We're glad to see you. No, I don't. But it would be funny though. But yeah, they better not lose to UCLA.
No, Kim K. Now I'm talking about the countdown clock. My bad. I'm sorry. Maybe some got missed in translation. I definitely want to calling you out, and then I was talking about a countdown clock. I thought you had a countdown clock for the time of the OU Tennessee game. That's all I was saying. Sorry about that.
Nebraska by 13. Fight on Natty says, like it. Antoine, who you got in that game? Appreciate you, Billy. Suck won't know what to do in a full stadium. He's talking about SC. You got them, huh? I don't know, man. I think right now they still look pretty good. I think that they lose some depth, then it could change. But right now, they look pretty good. Government reports calling. Bishop Frank, love you, man. Talk to you soon. Who else we got? Okay. I do too, Hank. I know it's dumb. I feel the offense is going to run better with him, even though he can't throw. Nebraska wins big, is what Antoine says.
I was scared of that game. I kind of stayed away from it.
Chicken's got it at 34-17. Sooner Brandon was with me at 31-17. Kimberly K, did you give us a number yet? All right. Billy, appreciate you, man. Give us a number. If you got confidence, give us the right number. Coach Dundee's had the countdown clock. Dundee's had the countdown clock going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew it was somebody.
Hey, there's Rooster from the Gamecock grind, man. That's our boy right there. Go Sooners beat the Vols. Man, you got to tell us what you think about that one, too. Give us a prediction. Illinois actually throw the ball tonight. They're different than the past. Nebraska 27-20. But it could be an upset.
It's close. It's a close game so far.
I think it is a close game. I think they're pretty close to that, right? Filling the score here for Bishop Franks. 28-24 Sooner in Texas says 28-17. Mars Jam says 17-15 Illinois. According to Chicken, skip work and hit the road. Jason, if you didn't make the game, you'll regret it. I'm going to be going. I can't skip work though. I got to go in. But yeah, has been as long as I've been in Okie gets dog walked by Utah. I'm agreeing. I agree with that.
Ooh.
Fired up now. 41-14. Silly talk. I'm gonna we will take note of this. Please take note. Nebraska 24-10, 30-24 Oklahoma.
I like that. It's somewhere in there. I can see that.
Yeah. 31-21. Coach Ricks has it. 31-21 Oklahoma.
I like that one too.
31-26 Vols from O. Schmidt. See, I could see a close game, but this is these disrespectful big ones that are. But we will take note of the Reezies of the world.
Yeah, I don't think neither team's scoring 40.
I bet we don't see Reezy back here on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know that it gets. If it gets to that, then all hell has broken loose.
If you see somebody scoring 40, that means there have been some explosive plays. Like there have been some people, some blown defenses type stuff.
Yeah, the Vols are not scoring 40.
Oh, some special teams.
Yeah, I think there's got to be you have some big turnovers or something like that. That pick six, couple of them, or special teams, touchdowns, something like that, where it just got out of hand somehow.
Right.
Sometimes those things happen. I would tend to believe that it probably happened more to the away team than it would to the home team, but you never know.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm gonna tell you this much: that shit ain't happening.
Yeah. And then you got two good coach team. That's why I just don't see 40 points. I mean, it could happen, but I just think both teams defensively are too well to give up 40 points.
Me too. And I think again, I like this right here, Coach Rich saying Jackson aren't going to have over 100 rushing yards. I think that's maybe a big key to the game. You need to you got to get the rushing game going any way you can get it going. And if that means getting Jackson running the ball, who cares?
I got to get out
to Auburn. Yeah, give me that one, and then you're good. Arkansas.
Which one you got? Oh, I took Arkansas in -4. I'm loving on Arkansas right now. Where Hog Wild at? He would love me right now.
Let's go Hog Wild.
I think that quarterback that they has, man, just adds a new dimension to their team. I'm really liking Arkansas. I think I have them in my top 10 SEC right now.
Me too.
At number 10, I think.
I like them as well. I think they're really good. So, yeah, as long as they stop with the silly shit like they had against Oklahoma State, they should have blown them.
Bad coaches. Bad coaching, bro. Just
killing me. Bad.
Yeah, man.
They have another one of those games. That's a game that gets Pittman be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have won that game. Should have never went to overtime. Never.
Nope. Oh, no, it shouldn't have even gotten close.
But that's where coaching comes into play.
Yep, I think they win. I think they'll win it too. All right. Tyler Wilson's got Vols 38-21. That's close.
I'm out of here. I got to hit this road, man.
Shotty, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to all the OU fans, man. I'm going to definitely see y'all on Saturday night. Snap Count, Chicken, BNG, everybody, man. Appreciate you having me on, Jason, as always, bro.
Bro, appreciate you, man. Talk to you soon. Shotty Parker from Just My Damn Opinion, Fanatic Sports, Saturday Night Snap Count, Doc and the Jock, all those things. Make sure you guys get over there and check him out. Great times. 28-21 OU upsets me to give them that much against our defense. Yeah, that's all right. I like Green, the Arky quarterback. may cause an issue for Auburn. Yeah. Did I get a prediction for the Oklahoma-Tennessee game there from you? Let's see. Filling your score, Bishop Frank, 28-14 Oklahoma. Cool. Yeah, Shawty's my dude, man. Appreciate you, legend. See you soon. Talk to you in a bit. All right. Yeah, I got to get out of here too, guys. Let's see. I had, where the hell is it? Give me 1 second here. Wanted to drop that. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's only the second one, though. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to share these real quick, and then we'll get out of here. But, yeah, we had our first week of the top 25 poll. Again, you can become a – just remember, if y'all beat Tennessee, is because you had stolen signs and sand on the field. Well, give me your I'm going to get to the game. I'm going to be there. Yep, give me your prediction there, Rooster. Come on now. Our first this is our first top 25 poll at Hall of Fame. You can become a voter in this as well. In fact, we want as many votes as we could possibly get. We didn't have a ton of them this past week, but I'll be on. Yeah, I'm going to try to be there as best I can. If I can get out of here, for sure I will be there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. He's still not giving me one. Dog. All right. First, and hey, you need to start voting in this too, Rooster. Let me get this up. All right. Number one, we had Georgia tied with Texas in points-wise, but they had more first-place votes out of us. So Ohio State, Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Miami, Mizzou, USC, Penn State, Oregon, Utah rounding out the top 12. Then we would also have got the next one up. Coming in at 13, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Okie Light as we call them, LSU, Notre Dame, Iowa State, Nebraska, Louisville. We've got Michigan further down at 21, Clemson, Illinois, Texas A&M, and Northern Illinois. So we need to get more people. You had Vols 35. Ooh, no way. See, I knew there was a reason why you weren't trying to say it, Rooster, you dog. All right. Well, hey, I'll get you out a link so you can vote. You got to vote by Sunday. Sunday at be 6 Eastern time, so or 6:30, something like that. Okie Light a little too high up. They'll be falling down, I would think. UNLV definitely got some votes. In fact, I voted for them in the bottom end of that, but UNLV's gotta win a little bit more before we're gonna really do that. Anyone here is going to be loud. Hey, everybody. Yes, I'm trying to be there for sure tomorrow. Hopefully I will be. As long as everything works out the way I think it's going to, I will be on the road this evening trying to get down there. So I'm working at it. Man. Definitely got it. Want to thank everybody that popped in here and spent time with us this morning. And I apologize for the tardiness. Again, can't do nothing about the internet being down. It was down at the newspaper too, so it was what it was. Appreciate everybody though coming in here. Look, guys, Yeah, you're getting the link, and it's in the Discord as well. We're making sure that we're sharing everything. Hey, if you haven't already gotten over and checked out Coach Rick's show, Sooner Legends podcast, get over there and make sure that you are subscribing to both them channels. Hey, Sooner Legends is going to have, he's got similar to how we're doing, but they're doing their show as well at least once a week. But they got Mike and Mike on Mondays in the afternoon. Myself and obviously Mike Boganowski are going to be doing the morning shows on Monday. He said he would pop on with me as well, so we're looking forward to that. But hey, Coach Ricks and myself are definitely doing these post games for Oklahoma. So we're going to be doing those a lot together as well. We're looking forward to that, continuing to do that. Love having Coach Ricks on the show with us. Of course, Coach Roybal and me, we're always going to be doing our Tuesday night gig, and he'd pop on anytime he feels like it. We love Coach Roybal as well. Looking forward to tomorrow's game. Looking forward to all this trash talking, man. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and nobody's in their feels about it except for y'all. Probably will be tomorrow. It's just the way it is. No way Mizzou's a top 10 team. I don't think they're top 10, but I do think that they're not top 10. I don't know. I agree with you, Fight On. But hey, get in there into our, become a member and get into the Discord and you can vote. Okay. So you've got Anthony Eubanks, former Arkansas wide receiver, on the show Sunday. He'll be on. We're going to work it out for him to go ahead and host the show for the post-game show. We'll come on right after the game probably and do a quick 20 or 30 minutes. Then maybe we'll do a little bit more on Sunday or something like that for sure if I'm on the road. But we also have the snap count that we do. You can find Shawty and myself on the Saturday night snap count pretty much every week. That's on Fanatic Sports Network. If you're not already a member or a subscriber there at Coach I's Fanatic Sports Network, make sure that you get over there and do that. Obviously, you guys, any of these Oklahoma fans are most generally already subscribers to Jay and Coop on Unfair Sports. If you're not, you should be. Again, make sure you get over there and check out Sooner Legends, Coach Rick's, PG Show, all these guys. Hey, man, we've got a lot of really, really good content creators coming out of the Oklahoma sphere. If you haven't checked us all out, you really should. But, I talked the most probably talked the most shit out of all of them, but it is kind of what it is. After my betting last week, you want me pulling for Tennessee. I suck. Well, good. Continue on, please. Tennessee going to get beat. That's all I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to end this show. Tennessee, you're going to get beat. I know you guys are excited and excited about your new quarterback. Your quarterback's going to be in a blender this weekend. It is what it is. Expect it, understand it, know it. You're going to get beat. This is Oklahoma. There's only one Oklahoma. You're going to get beat. Folks, appreciate everybody coming on to the show. Got to get out of here. See you on the next one.